What's going on, football fans? It's me, J.R. Clark, back again with another rendition of the Pound for Pounds Falcon Eye View. I always end up saying something different, don't I? Anyway, on this episode of the Falcon Eye View, in the wake of Ricardo Allen being cut, being waived, whatever you want to call it, even though we knew that it was coming, we'd all been talking about it, we all speculated on it, we all assumed that it was going to happen, but still, when the news finally come down and finally broke, it really put something into perspective for me, and that is we are going to finally 100% going to have to upgrade the safety position. And so that got me to thinking, how are we going to do that? Like, as it stands right now, if I'm not mistaken, you have two safeties on the roster. One is Sherrod Niesman, who is a career backup and a special teamer. And the other is Jalen Hawkins. This will be his second year, and the best I can figure, grand total last year, he played less than 60 snaps on defense. Now, he played special teams, but I'm talking about like significant defensive snaps, okay? He only played significant defensive snaps in two games. That was the Chicago game and then the Green Bay game. He ended up getting hurt, and with the resurgence, I guess you could say, of Keanu Neal, Jalen Hawkins never did actually make it on the field. So as much as we like bemoan and, you know, show in and show out, talked about how Ricardo Allen was a liability in a lot of ways, especially in coverage because of the talent that he lacked, what we're going to miss is the field general, which I think is what kept him on the field, you know, for the entirety of Dan Quinn's tenure, when he wasn't hurt, obviously. But, you know, his knowledge of the game and his ability to get guys set and, you know, get the coverages right is something that's going to be sorely missed. And we're going to have to replace that, especially with Dean Pease coming in. Now, studying Dean Pease's defense, and there's going to be some defensive guru that's probably going to lose his mind, but studying Dean Pease's defense, trying to figure out like where his emphasis lies. Some guys, they lie on the defensive front. Like Todd Bowles feels like that kind of a guy. Some guys rely on shutting you down with a secondary. You had like Denver's no-fly zone, kind of deal. Legion of Boom comes to mind. It was their secondary that really put them in position to succeed. So trying to get like a key in on what Dean Pease is more comfortable with really seems like he can run just about anything, really. If I had to be completely honest, he does seem like a very flexible coach, which is something that I've been wanting for a while. So I really hope that translates into some success for the Falcons. But he does seem to enjoy having a strong secondary. And the way that he deploys his safeties is something that has interested me since we hired him, partly because of the Ricardo Allen thing, right? How I knew we were going to have to replace him and potentially Keanu Neal. Now, keep in mind, he's not under contract when the new league year starts. Now, there's been rumors floating around that we might franchise tag him, but up to this point, we haven't done it. So, we can't necessarily count on Keanu Neal. So, one thing I think that we're going to have to do is I think we're going to have to sign and draft some safeties. So I tried to find some guys who I felt like would fit, with Dean Pease in his ideas of the coverages that he likes to run and the mentality that he likes to have. Because he really likes a ball hawking mentality. Just from the safety position alone, his time in Baltimore, they had over 16 interceptions, which is in 4 years. And in the 2 years that he was in Tennessee, the safety position alone had 11 interceptions. So the way he deploys his safeties is, I feel like crucial to his coverages, as far as like disguising blitzes and stuff like that. So I'm going to get some stats pulled up here real quick, and so we're gonna there's some points that I would like to make, and I need this information in front of me. So if you'll bear with me, I should have had this up already, but hey, you know me, I'm not always the best prepared. All right, got it now though. All right, let's see here. So where we're going to start at is we're going to start with Jalen Hawkins, okay? And the reason why I'm going to start with Jalen Hawkins is mainly because he's on the team. He's the safety that we have under contract for the next few years. So unless they decide to cut him, he's going to be on the team. Now Jalen Hawkins is 6'1" and 208. Okay, he played 5 years for Cal. Started as a cornerback, redshirted, didn't necessarily play, but then switched to safety. Now, in college, they just have him listed as safety, and he's played, I think he played what you would consider both free and strong. I think he does his best work closer to the line of scrimmage, and so that's some of the stuff that I want to bring up here. So this first play that we're going to look at here is from his college days. I got a lot to get through today, so I'm not going to show you, play after play after play. So this first play here, what I really like is he fights through the block to tackle on that swing pass. I want to show you that one more time. He fights through this block, okay? And that's their best receiver right there. He fights right through it and, tackles that little out pass before it can get into anything. He's really good at diagnosing, plays close to the line of scrimmage, and I'll show you that by this play from Green Bay. Like I said, I had to go back and watch his college tape because he just didn't play a lot in the pros, right? So I had trying to get a real idea of what he would be good at. So he's on man coverage here. You see him start to follow his man. Then he diagnoses that it's a run play, runs down the line, and puts a solid tackle on the defender there. I want to watch it one more time. Okay, you're going to see him. He's going to come in motion with the motion man, but then he reads the play real well and realizes he's about to get out of the play. So comes back through and boom, solo tackle there on the running back. So those are some of the things that I think if you dedicate Jalen Hawkins to being a strong safety, which I think was one reason why you didn't see him on the field last year. I know he got injured, but even the fact that when he did come back, you didn't see him because Keanu Neal was actually playing really good ball last year. So, but in his time in college, he had, a couple sacks, 9.5 tackles for loss. Now, what I wanted to say was he had, 7 pass defenses and interceptions. This is the thing right here. In his 2 years as a starter, he had 10 interceptions. So I think that's something that will pique the interest of Dean Pease. Playing him at a, level that he could be kind of interchangeable. He does have some coverage chops, but I think he plays better closer to the line of scrimmage. Now, that's the guy that we have on roster. That's the guy we are guaranteed to be here this coming season. Now, let's talk about some guys that we might be able to bring in. I'm going to start with the free agent guys, as in I think this is a place where we can get some bang for our buck kind of deal. The first guy we're going to talk about is Marcus May. Now, Marcus May plays for the New York Jets. He's played 4 years for them, drafted in 2017. He's, let's see what I was looking at. Yeah, he's a free safety, but I think he could play either free or strong. He played free for the Jets, but he's 6 foot 207. You see what I'm saying? These body types aren't very different, right? And in his time playing for the Jets, he's had 6 interceptions. He's had 2.5 sacks. He's had 22 pass defenses. That's important. He's a solid coverage guy. A couple quarterback hits, 5 tackles for losses. So I mean, he's done some work on a bad Jets team. You see what I'm saying? That's the part that intrigued me. And I think this is a guy. Now, Robert Slahy may decide that he's worth keeping. 1 second, sorry. Might decide that he's worth keeping, and we may never, get the chance. But if he hits the free agent market, he's a guy I would definitely like to take a look at. So this first play I want to show you here. All right. You got the, okay, it's a deep pass. Hard to figure out which play it was. This is one of the pass breakups. It's showing you the range. He's out there on an island by himself, right? Derek Carr gets good protection, loads up, and just hucks the ball down. And the only thing I don't like is he don't get his head around. But he's reading the eyes of the receiver, and he gets his arm up, doesn't draw a flag, gets his arm up, knocks the ball out of the way. That's an example of him covering the deep part of the field. Now, here's another one here. I want to say this is almost the direct next play. Okay, there's it again, his coverage ability. He gets the inside technique on the receiver, and that's Hunter Renfrow, if I'm not mistaken. Matches him inside, breaks on the ball, and is able to knock it away. So that's showing you some of his coverage ability. I think if you were to pair a Marcus May with a Jalen Hawkins, I think that's a guy that can make a good duo. So, moving right along. Now, the next guy we're going to talk about is Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams is a free safety out of New Orleans. Now, there's a good chance that New Orleans ain't going to be able to pay him to keep him. So we might be able to, structure a deal to bring him in here to Atlanta, given that Terry Fontenot has, up close and personal experience with this guy. It might be an intriguing option, which is the reason why I chose to pick him up, or to take a look at him rather. His stats include, now this is where it gets really interesting. His stats include 13 interceptions. He is a definition of a ball hawking free safety. Now, what we're going to have to determine is whether he was ball hawking because of a rushing defensive line, that New Orleans had. Did that benefit him, or is he just, a really good free safety? So that's something we're going to have to see. But with 13 interceptions and 30 pass defenses, he's the quintessential coverage, free safety. Now I'm going to show you this play, and it might pain you, Falcons fans, but I don't want y'all to necessarily think that I'm super biased here. But what I want you to see is the knock on him is he doesn't like to tackle. Well, look at that hit that he lays on Calvin Ridley right there. Watch that again. It is a clean hit. Jars the ball loose, and if that's don't like to tackle, I'll take that all day long, right? Look at that. Boom. Just dislodges the ball. What was going to be a clear catch, no longer a catch, right? And I got a dry throat today. All right. That's the clips that I have as far as the pros go. There's one other guy that I didn't grab any clips from, but could be like a cheaper vet minimum type, maybe not vet minimum, but a cheaper option in the veteran department. And that's Deron Harmon, 6'1", 205. Spent the vast majority of his career up in New England. Spent the last year in Detroit. They had him listed as a strong safety, but in his career, he's had 19 interceptions. So not necessarily a ball hawk, but he'll make a play if it's there. 33 pass defenses, but here's the no sacks. That might change if Dean Pease gets a hold of him. But yeah, he's a guy who I think that you could probably get to come in with veteran presence, and played the game since 2013. Been a part of like Super Bowl teams, knows what it takes to win. Could be a good solid veteran signing. How where Dean Pease gets his safety help, because he's gonna have to have it. There's no way around it. Like I said, right now all you have is Jalen Hawkins, who I think can be a good safety under Dean Pease. I just think he's going to need to be paired with a better coverage safety and let him play close to the line of scrimmage. But that's what I got for y'all today. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed thinking about this video. Kind of glad I got it done now so I can move on to a different topic. But safety is a position that we are going to have to upgrade regardless if it's in free agency or the draft or both. Because right now it's looking kind of rough. But anyway, as always, y'all can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Grimm1128, GRIM1128. You can catch our live streams on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Think Tanks on Mondays when Toby has a topic. And Falcon Eye View on either Thursdays or Saturdays. But yeah, as always, Falcons fans, rise up.